Hey everybody, I am Matt and I'm here along with,
Tristan,
and also who's sitting on your lap, for anyone watching the video version.
my
Who's,
cat
yeah, Patchy.
hatches.
Yeah, Patches. I call her Patches all the time. Thank you for adopting that, Tristan. So anyway, we are doing another episode of Keikaku Korner. First episode is season 4. First episode in the new year. So Tristan, have you broken any New Year's resolutions yet? Personally, I didn't have any, so I'm good.
Same.
Oh, thank God. Great. So what do you think Patchy's New Year's
Can't break
resolutions
them
are?
if you don't make them.
Exactly. What do you think about Patchy's?
Well, it's funny you ask, Matt. I'm actually going
Uh-huh.
to have her. She's looking into getting into the streaming world. So I
Oh.
said tonight she could be the one to read the articles.
So, first of all, great way to take yourself out of the equation. Secondly, do you know how much money we would get if it was just your cat? Like
Yeah,
like just
I'm
hold up
helping
your
you out,
cat.
Matt.
Thank you. Go away. Go
By take
underneath the camera shot and hold up your cat like Simba,
exactly.
like like Rafiki holding up Simba.
Oh my god.
Just hold her up. Anyway,
And I'll
so
I'll just have like electronic like type speak for her
yes.
as she reads the articles.
So some longtime fans are probably noticing things are looking a little bit different. We do have a new background, we do have some gameplay footage, and sometimes we will be live on our Twitch, which is TG Productions. Today we are not. No, your background is fine, Tristan. Our
Okay.
general background, though, is much different than what it usually is.
I was
Uh,
terrified for a second.
and of course, if you're just listening to this, by the way, you're probably listening to this through our Podbean, podbean.com/, those guys radio. That's new. We've actually moved over to Podbean, so hopefully you guys can check us out there in 2020 and also in the future as well. Now, before we get on to our first article, wanted to say that, as you guys may have noticed, again, some long time fans, things were a little bit different at the end of the year. Basically, Tristan, you've started working at an undisclosed location that well, I mean, it's retail, so it kind of treats you like that, right? Like they show up in front of your house, they put something over your head and they just drive you to the location, they throw you out, and they're like, work. That's kind of how it's like, right?
Sure.
Okay. And so that kind of affected our schedules. We're gonna try and do this once a month at most. But in 2019 though, Tristan, we actually did a lot. Like, well, because compared to our usual Keikaku Corner output, we actually went close to like 20 episodes or something like that, if I remember correctly. It
Yeah.
was a lot more than Tristan's not been keeping count. No, we in season 3 we went up to 17.
Nice.
Yeah, we went up to 17 episodes, which again for us is a lot compared to our first 2 years doing K Corner, where it was a bit interesting. We're trying to get like a handle on it. But anyway, so Tristan, I sent you all the articles, so you know what we're talking about. And if you guys listening in or watching, you don't know just yet, we're talking about some stuff regarding Viz, manga, some digital stuff that's actually getting pushed up, some release dates, which is nice there. Talking about My Hero Academia, the newest film, and some stuff regarding its US release. Digital Manga Inc., and some fun Kickstarter news starting off the year right. Jumping back to Kickstarter news, also talking about anime films and the Oscars. Where are they? Because I'm looking, I think like anime films are on the back of a milk carton. If you've
Yeah.
seen them, Oscars, please call this number. Shaman King and its spin off manga, and kind of a little bit of a state of what Shaman King looks like in the West, or at least in the US. And also some just a funny little thing about Detective Conan. But before we even get into any of that, I want to follow up on something. So I didn't tell Tristan this was happening. Tristan, do you remember the Dragon Ball Z 30th anniversary Blu-ray set?
Yes.
Okay, so if you guys don't remember, I'll have some of the footage up in post. I'm reminding myself now. So Funimation released this set. It was kind of like their own little mini Kickstarter, but it was directly through their own website. And what was interesting about it was that it had every single episode of Dragon Ball Z on it. It also had some other. I had what was it? It had a want to make sure here. Had a Goku collectible figure. Then it also had an art book, but it was a full sized hardback. And by the way, both figures I believe were only available. Yes, only available through this set. and also the background, like the background, the box for the entire set itself was Shenron or Shenlong. It looked really nice. And apparently there was some controversy. We talked about it surrounding like how these Blu-rays were made, in terms of like how the footage was upscaled, how much was it cropped, is it as good as the Japanese version of the Blu-rays, all that stuff. We've talked about that. So if you're watching this on YouTube, we'll link that down below. You can get our takes on all of that. But there was talk from us of, are people going to start scalping this? Are they going to look at the $350 price range, and are they going to scalp it? Now, I believe we may have done a video on it. In particular, I want to make sure, like, we may have done a small follow-up on, like, oh, what if this is the case? And I think there was a crazy, to us anyway, it was crazy. Yes, someone had the pre-order up, which was odd, because it wasn't even out yet. That's what it was. Yeah. And then someone in that video in the comment section said, hey, you know, I'm going to try to be selling mine. And so, and that's, you know, freely up there. I was like, okay, so then let's see if this actually ends up working out. I wanted to see if people were actually buying this, if for some reason they were unable to get it the first time around, because they had it up for like a month-ish.
Yeah.
But, I mean, hey, some people just don't have the money. I mean, we didn't have the money. That's why we didn't back it personally. You and I combined at the time. We did not have the money.
Have the money.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it's $350, and you and I both already have the sets on DVD. Obviously, there's problems with the orange box set and the cropping and all that. But for us, it's just...
What are you talking about?
Oh, that's been talked about. We can't not talk about that. But... what I find very interesting is that some people do have listings up, and I won't talk about them right now. So if you're watching this, you'll see some listings, but if you're listening in, don't worry, we're going to go through them right now. So some of them, I think I actually, honest to God, think they're a respectable, quote unquote, respectable markup. Now, what do I mean by that, right? So the set was $350. So again, I couldn't afford that. Tristan couldn't afford that. So that doesn't mean that we're going to jump on these markups. But to put it for $500, I don't think that's as bad as, remember, we saw it for like, I think it was like $1,200, right? That pre-order at that time. We'll have it up right now for you guys watching. But it was a bit much. Yeah. And so to say $500, it's still an extra $150 more. I'm not saying it was... Oh, actually, it was... Yeah, I'm looking real close right now. It was $2,500. Yeah, it was $2,500. So, and again, it was a pre-order. So it was $2,500.
No way that could be right.
And it was... And it's funny, any of you who saw me have a grandpa moment, anyone on camera saw me lean in to try to make sure it was right. So it was $2,500, the original one that we talked about. And it was the pre-order hadn't come out yet. So no one had it physically in their hands yet. And someone had it up for layaway, because you can have that on eBay, where if I wanted that for $2,500, I could, and free shipping, thank goodness, I could pay $121 for 24 months.
God.
Through eBay. It makes sense for other things, but obviously not for something like this, which is like we had no idea about the scarcity or non-scarcity of it at that time. Now, so again, for $500, I don't think that is the worst type of markup. There's another one after that for $650, and another one after that for $530. Now, obviously, I'm not purchasing those, but again, obviously, it could be much, much worse. Oh, actually, there's some more that are popping up now that I have it all sorted properly. There's one for $600, $650, $650, and then one for $1,500. Good luck. And also, there's some that are more expensive, but they don't seem to have some of the other figures and stuff with it.
Right.
They don't seem to. So, good luck
charging. Not even the complete package.
Yeah. But what's interesting is, who cares about what people have put it up for? How much is it actually selling for? So I always look into that when I'm trying to buy like retro games and things like that. So looking at this, the first one that it says ended recently. Let's go with that. Not even lowest price. So ended recently, January 9th. It went up to $390 with $16 in shipping. First of all, high shipping makes sense. You're shipping a lot of stuff. But how funny is it that it's only a teensy bit more than the $350 set? And you want to know why? For anyone who wants to do stuff like this and purchase stuff like this, maybe get two and try to sell one. It's basically what we were saying. I'm pretty sure we mentioned this in our previous video about it. there is a huge problem when you know there is it is a niche of a niche of a niche of a niche. Dragon Ball Z itself is huge, but putting it up at 350 already made it niche. Having it be Blu-ray for some people, for some, makes it niche. For some, not everybody. Because I know you and I, Tristan, have a Blu-ray player, but only through our PS4. So, funnily enough. So, I think so, right? You don't have another Blu-ray player, yeah?
I mean, there's one in the house. It's not hooked up.
Oh, I thought it was your PS4. I thought that was the only one you had.
In my room, yes.
Oh, okay.
PS4.
Got it. But for me personally, it's just the PS4. I buy more DVDs than I do Blu-ray. So either way, though, for some that makes it niche. So when you and also the fact that there's a market that's already been met for some, because it's not like there were no Blu-rays ever released of Dragon Ball Z. There were other Blu-rays. These were just being touted as better Blu-rays than the ones that you've already purchased. And there's also Blu-rays of Kai as well.
Yeah.
So there's so many different ways to purchase this. It's a niche of a niche of a niche. If I don't even believe they went to their full 6,000 units. That they only had up to 6,000. I don't believe they even went up to their full, which that means that yes, some people didn't have the money, but for others, that was the market. The market has been met. The needs of the market have been met. Now, looking at some others that are up there, which is really funny. One was for $550, but there's a slash and it says best offer accepted. And what frustrates me is eBay never puts what offer was accepted.
Right.
Because you know that it wasn't $550, but how much did it actually go for? Was it $400? Was it $350? And the person was trying to just liquidate whatever they had. They're like, just get it away. Just get it out of here. Because it's a pretty big set. And then before the new year, late December, probably for Christmas, some people were getting $500, $504. And by the way, 2 bids at $504. The need has been met. 600 with best offer accepted, 650 with $43 shipping. So was it 330? So like, yeah, it's just, you keep on seeing it because it's not listed by price. It's just listed by,
the thing would be if I had, something we like to call here, fuck you money, and, no space concerns or anything like that, I would have jumped on this immediately.
Well,
unfortunately, we live in the world we live in.
Well, no, you didn't have that new retail job, the one that's like covert ops, that they steal you from your house at night when you have a shift in the morning. You didn't have that job yet when we were talking about this. And that's also something as well, where you were making income through a different job, but it's still something where it was not a steady... It wasn't a steady enough that you can just throw 350 down.
True. And even now, I'd still be like,
Yeah. Patchy's like, but what about my food? And you're like, of course, Patches, you could eat. She's like, also, then she sees the box. She's like, I could fit in that box. Never mind. So yeah, it's just something funny that I wanted to bring up before we move on to our next topic, is that, just a quick follow-up, that it's not... Stuff like this isn't the biggest investment. It can make you some nice money on the side, but it's a side hustle. It's not get rich quick, I'm going to put this up and I'm going to make, thousands of dollars on top of it. It's like some of these people are making maybe $50, $100. That's nice. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you can't, if you have a store and you're doing this is like your online store, that's fair. But if you're thinking about it as, it'll net me a good amount, it reminds me of the NES Classic, SNES Classic situation. Not that Funimation is going to print more of these necessarily, but the market, yes, there needs to be some reprints, definitely, for the NES and SNES, but some of them were going up for like $300, and it was like, what are you doing? Just wait a little bit. Or again, or if you're trying to resell, it's like, you better be careful, because some people wanted to buy, remember that there was that one family that I didn't like. It was the one woman I didn't like, that because we were online. This is some of this footage, not of her, but some of this footage is available on our Those Guys Play channel. You and I were trying to get the SNES Classic at my local Toys R Us. Rest in peace. They closed down literally I think hours later. They were shooing us out the second we They were only open for that, and then they shut down the rest of the day. So, when I left to go get a bacon, egg, and cheese because I am a New Yorker, and so I left to go get it. I
And
wasn't
have me
planning
stay in line.
because I wasn't planning on getting an SNES Classic
The
that day.
one making the purchase.
Because I wasn't planning on getting the SNES Classic that day. I got it from GameStop months later, and it was still in print because Nintendo actually printed a lot of those. So I didn't pay a markup for it. There were people that day, by the way, paying markups for it to like 160, and I was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Anyway, so I got offline. I came back, and this woman straight up looks at me and goes, "Oh, did you just get here?" Now, mind you, we were there since 5:30 in the morning. She got there maybe 10 minutes earlier, so at 8:30. So did she get there?
No, they came like later.
I thought they came at like 8 to 9, somewhere in that range. Were they there at 9:30?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, because I think the doors opened at 10, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Either way, point being is that they came much later. It was her and a family, and I could swear when we were on the way out, because they were just far enough back from us that like they could be talking to an employee. I swear to God that they made a joke about like, oh, can it be one per? And it was just like, ma'am, you're here with children. Like, it could be one per person, sure, but it was like her, maybe her brother, her husband perhaps, but it was like 3 to 4 adults and then the kids too, and she was like, oh, is it one per person? And like the guy was looking at her like, yeah, because I bet you they're thinking, oh, we're gonna try to resell this and make a lot of money. And it's like, look, if you make double your money, that's nice, but that isn't like, for all the work, as someone who sold stuff through eBay before, for all the work and then eBay taking a cut and PayPal taking a cut, it's not enough for me unless like you're selling something for like a really high ticket and it just kind of fell in your lap. Like I've sold some manga that I got so discounted that is now out of print, so it was in a set, so it was actually worth a pretty penny, that makes sense. But in this case, it's just silly. So that's all. So either way, we're going to move on. Tristan, I'm assuming your thoughts are very similar in this, in that it's not feasible.
No.
But Tristan, wait a minute, hold on. All of these were bought by Tristan Walter. Hold on, Tristan. Whoa. Tristan, we just had this. All of these were purchased. It says it right there. eBay does not say. It says it right there. Tristan Walter bought these. Damn. Tristan.
Well, look at the time.